call the meeting to order. This is the Master Plan Implementation Committee, and it is Tuesday, June 21st, and it's 6:30 p.m. I'd like to ask if anyone's recording the meeting. LakeCAM is recording this meeting from beyond. I just heard that. Very good, thank you. So I'd like to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, if we could raise and then face the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so item 2, to review and vote to approve the meeting minutes for April 26th.
I move to approve the meeting minutes for April 26th, 2022.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 3, discuss the following warrant articles presented at the annual town meeting. There's 3. Article 7, amendment to zoning bylaw, adding open space residential development. Article 8, amendment to, Mr. Lynch. Article 8, amendment to zoning bylaw sign regulations. And Article 9, amendment to the zoning bylaw site plan review. I'd like to turn it over to, it's okay, Mr. Mark Resnick, the town planner. Mr. Resnick?
Okay, the OSRD bylaw was presented at town meeting, but it was tabled indefinitely. There were some objections primarily by conservation agent to a couple sections within the bylaw. Planning board hasn't had a chance to to discuss those yet. They may or may not be changed. Some of the items the planning board was absolutely opposed to changing, which was to make it OSRD by right. They wanted to ensure that it was a special permit. Other things they might be more agreeable to changing, such as exactly how the wording is related to the development restriction placed on a piece of land. They wanted it to refer specifically to one of the statutes, Article 97, which it doesn't do, but it does require essentially the same thing. And there'll be some further discussion on the third item, which was the ownership of the open space residential, the open space land as part of the development. There was some opposition at the planning board meeting, and there is some downside to having ownership by a homeowners association as opposed to ownership by the town. I feel that there's probably a greater responsibility of the town to monitor it if it is owned by an association as opposed to the town. So at the planning board, they didn't really go into that discussion at any great length, but we probably will going forward over the summer. So it's really just some minor tweaks. We had met, contrary to what was stated at town meeting, I had met with the Conservation Commission about this. They were fully aware of this. I had met with the agent as well. And in addition to that, I also had worked closely with Ed Cullen, the Board of Health agent, although I did not attend a Board of Health meeting as well. So the language in there kind of was following some of his recommendations. So we'll kind of tweak that a little bit and see where we end up and bring it back in the fall.
All right, great, thank you. Is there any further discussion about the articles?
And the other 2 articles, the sign bylaw passed overwhelmingly, and as did the site plan review bylaw. So now that has built into it site and building design standards. Yep. So now we can kind of proceed with looking at making other changes to the bylaw to increase lot coverage and remove these, you have, this section about density bonuses that requires all sorts of site and design changes, of which we already now have adopted into site plan review. So we feel we can kind of remove, we'll be having some discussions, but we can remove that sections and kind of, because now we can apply the site and design standards to all developments and that go through the planning board. So, so that's kind of the next step.
All right. Thank you. I know that, it's been long discussed.
Mm-hmm.
And so to finally see it come to fruition is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you. Item 4, discuss updating the master plan implementation chart.
Okay.
Turn it over to Rita Garbett.
What I included in your packet was the implementation chart that's been put on the town website. And when I checked it, I didn't look at every page, but when you get down to page, I inserted a new page 6, because the natural resources was left off. And then I changed page 6 to 7, and then the numbers are okay after that. But now that we've completed a lot of, not a lot, but quite a few of the items, I wanted permission from the master plan committee to update what has been completed now with the town meeting, but also that maybe on our next agenda, have everybody review this, and we should decide what are our next steps, you know, what do we want to pursue? But if we could just quickly go down the pages, I'll tell you what I can add in.
Sure. Why don't you start with page 1 or you want to
Okay.
start someplace
Page
else?
1, under strategy, number 2, I could put in there that design standards passed at the annual town meeting 5/16/22.
So under strategy
1.2.
2.1.2, okay?
So I can put, you know, I'll move it around so that it at least shows done.
Great, thank you.
Page 2, under strategy, under strategy 2.2.4, I will just, you know, failed at the annual town meeting, the open space.
Not really failed, but.
Right, so I thought
Table, right.
tabled indefinitely and pursue in
22, if we're,
2023 or 2022.
we're gonna, depending on what the planning board does, I mean, we're trying to get for the fall.
Yes, we're trying to get it back toward the fall, and the adjustments would be relatively minor to the bylaws, so.
So pursue in fall.
Target for fall town meeting,
Good target.
target, it's a target.
The next one, goal 3.1, I just thought maybe we could talk about that when we wanna, is that gonna be something we're gonna pursue?
3.1.2?
No, 3.1, encourage more variety in the town's housing stock to meet the needs.
Oh, okay.
I'm just thinking that's maybe something going forward we could pursue. That's just my thought.
So update it from pursue 2021 and just change the date, or continue it from 2021 for
Well,
this year?
there's
moving
nothing
forward?
there right now. It's
Yeah,
the
I'm not
very
certain
last
what-
block.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not certain what the role of the NPIC is with that, other than it being a goal. It's really more a matter of housing policy.
Correct, that is affirmative. We are not a policy setting committee.
But I think it is in our housing production plan, Ari.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
So you could certainly look at the HPP as
Yeah.
toward that, that's fine,
yep.
Okay,
yeah. I'm just saying it's not the NPIC's role to go out there and encourage certain developments.
Right.
Things like that.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, the role is to implement the master plan, which has been created over time with input from the residents of Lakeville.
Right.
next page, I just wanted to mention, I was gonna change EDC activated in 2021. It's actually just been reactivated, right, Ari, Jim
Well, it's been
Rogers?
staffed. I mean, we have a full membership now. There's a board member whose charge it is to, act as liaison on that and drive forward, and I haven't heard too much at this point, but I'll look and see where things stand.
So I'll just change that to 2022, that it was activated.
Yeah, that's fine.
Page 4, nothing. On page 5, I just wanted to ask, second block down, 5-1, our priority protection areas. The state made us do that. The last time I think we did it was 2013. Is that still, Mark, do you know if we're still priority development and priority habitat?
I'm
What-
not
It was
aware
every
of any-
5 years, page
I'm not aware
5.
of any
Page 5.
requirement to update that.
I thought every 5 years we were supposed to update it.
It's the open space and recreation plan
There it
that
is,
needs to
okay.
be updated every 5 years. Or should be.
Well, Concom and open space, I think, for the, habitat. It was just a question. I didn't know
Yeah.
if this is something that is there a year that we're supposed to have that updated again?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
like I said, I'm not sure about that plan.
All right, so now I stuck in a new page 6.
Rita, are you gonna send a new version of this out so we can post
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All I was going to do under the last one, strategy, the the CPA, I was gonna just put to the side adopted, it was the election, right, 4/6/22, we
Yeah.
adopted it.
Yeah.
So now the new page 7, I didn't have anything on that. Because the open space is still working on updating their plan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that was everything that I thought. I can start updating it before we put it back on the website, but then we can talk about at another meeting. I think I'd put the next steps, I think was number 6 on the agenda, is just give everybody a chance to look this over and see what we want to pursue.
Yes, please.
I think there's something in here about, there was something here about facilities, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Section 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which one in particular?
okay, so 711,
Which is on the new page 9,
old page 8, yeah.
old page 8, correct?
Yeah.
Which had to do with the fire station.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we have in process, that's just in process. I'm just checking through this here. And do we have something about town hall on here? Or do we just have fire station? I don't think we have anything about, no, I don't think we did.
I thought we did.
I thought we did too, that's what I was, yeah.
And about the senior center we've got on here.
Yeah, so that's underway. We got we got funding for the feasibility study. And 721, the,
Oh, yeah.
the ARP
Under the
project.
strategy.
Yeah, the ARP project, the feasibility study is nearing completion. It's gonna be going to the town, probably fall town meeting for that project, so. So it's moving along pretty nicely.
All right.
And 722, highway department in process, that's fine. I think you should take off funding approved for that because the funding's not enough.
On 722?
Yeah, for highway department, yeah. The project is,
set.
the project is way more than $200,000, so,
And it says will be completed summer of 2021.
yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
because we
not-
use that money as free cash, right, at town meeting?
No, that project, there was 235 appropriated to that project over.
Between 2 town meetings?
Yeah, town meetings. So, you know, we've got a schematic design for the addition. and cost estimates are way over.
Yeah.
So
I bet.
we're trying to figure out an alternative approach here.
So you want me to take that out completely?
I still think it's a priority. I would just leave out the part about being completed in summer of 2021, because obviously that didn't happen.
Okay,
So when we make the changes to the master plan, is there a strike through to see what the change was, or is this, the change is made and
I
that's the
don't think
most
you have a
recent
status,
version?
you have a status column there. Maybe you should-
Yeah.
Yeah, another column.
Yeah,
I think
status,
we're
there we
beyond the
go.
point of 8.5 by 11 paper here.
right.
Yeah,
But when
Yeah.
I printed it from the website, it was,
I know.
our other ones I had on,
I know.
All right, yeah, thank you for that, I appreciate that. Okay. Any other observations on the matrix?
We have the ADA plan in here, so that's good. No longer, page 9, it's no longer a draft plan, that plan's been approved by the state.
Which, you said all page
Sorry,
9?
725.
Yep, for strategy?
Yes, under complementary actions for the ADA, number 725. The plan's been completed and has been approved by the state. We're gonna be just doing our first set of applications this fall.
Awesome. Thank you.
I didn't get all of that, but
I'm sorry.
is approved by
The
the
ADA plan
state.
was approved by the state. Will be eligible to apply this fall for the first round of grants.
Was there a lot of grant money available for that?
Some,
Okay.
I won't overstate it.
In the fall.
Yeah, so I think the round opens in September.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
Sure. And I would talk about 732, stuff about grant opportunities. I mean, I'd give you a list, but it's huge. Of all the grants that we applied for and gotten last year.
So on the list, can it be hyperlinked, the grants, or is that appropriate level of detail or too much detail for the matrix? We want to more keep it like just a generic, we've got these and can we
Yeah,
make a
oh, yeah.
reference to if anyone's
Yeah.
interested?
Yeah.
Where could they get the list?
Call it town administrator's office. We maintain a central database on it.
Okay.
so for the next one, I'll print out the, legal size with our notes from tonight. And then we can keep discussing it.
Rita, when could you pick up a hard copy of that?
What?
When can you pick up a hard copy of that?
I'll,
Or can you, online?
I can email it to everybody ahead of time,
Thank you.
but I'll bring a printed one
Oh,
to our next meeting.
Okay, great.
I do
Thank you.
too.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just I've got a home printer and feeding that legal size paper takes me forever.
I wouldn't belabor it here, Rita, but it might be worth, just having a conversation with, I can do this if you want, with Frank and Chief Perkins about the stuff they've been doing on the traffic, on the, roadside.
On the what?
Traffic and roadside, there's a lot of activity. I
Okay.
noticed that section 8 is all transportation strategy, and there's some stuff about, let's see here, complete streets, which I know Frank's involved in, road safety audits, which we're actually in the process of working on right now.
Okay,
And yeah, so I just know there's some things that we've been doing. Pavement management program, you know, that kind of thing.
we're still part of that, right?
Yep. Okay. I'm done.
Any further discussion on the matrix? And updating? Okay, hearing none. Moving forward to discuss the sale of the Lakeville Country Club. There's really not a whole lot of discussion absent of, this evolves from Article 11 at the annual town meeting. It was passed and there is a vote on
June
June
28th.
28th. So that's to the extent of that. This committee does not make recommendations, neither support nor oppose That's not our role. So I want to be very, very clear, that's not our role. Our role is to implement the master plan, which has been created over time with input from the various committees, of course, but most importantly, the citizens of Lakeville. So I just want to make clear, because I was asked at the senior center, there was a comment made by a gentleman who said he had not heard from two committees, one of which was the master plan. So I did, after the meeting, introduce myself and explain the role of our committee. So it's important that people understand that. I know some committees are policy setting committees, some committees support or oppose various business before the town, but this is not one of those committees. So I just want to be absolutely unambiguous, subject to one interpretation. So, okay. So June 28th
Is,
Election.
is
Is
it
the-
12 to 8?
okay.
I think.
Yeah,
it-
noon to 8.
Noon to 8?
Yeah. Okay. All right, next agenda item is schedule.
Are citizens able to speak at all, or no?
Well, to be brutally honest, I think you're the first set of citizens to actually
Nobody
present
comes to
in
the
person.
meetings.
So if it's relevant to the discussion and to the committee, absent of that, then no.
Okay, I don't know.
But they need to say their name and.
Yeah,
My name is Noelle Rillo, and I live at 22 Reservoir Ave.
thank you.
I'm in a butter to the LCC property. But I was trying to, get a better understanding of what the master plan committee is all about. And it appears to be looking to 2030. That seems to be the trajectory.
That's the title of this one,
It is the.
2030.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, that's
Looking at-
correct.
Yeah, looking at
Mhm.
2030, and I know that there's so many things that you do and have to look at, but I just wanted to point out a couple of things that are specific to 2030, and they're financial markers. One, Reuters on April 29th of this year was looking at Amazon, and they have $2 billion in costs from having excess fulfillment and transportation capacity. In other words, too many warehouses. That was one of the things I wanted to point out. The other thing I wanted to point out is because this is apparently an agricultural community, goat milk production
It's way up, way up.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
there's money there's money in health food, there's money in farm to table, but it's projected to hit 13.2 million in profits by 2030. That's PRN Newswire. So I think, it's certainly not out of the realm of your purview to look at those markers, because this is an agricultural community. And, we're on the downslope from everybody ordering their food through Amazon. We really are. And I know that we have a lady on our board here who, I know that there are people in this town who have done chicken farming, poultry farming, and, look at Elliott Farms. So I think that keeping that in mind. And when I first moved to this area 10 years ago, I looked at it for what it wasn't. But the more I lived here, the more I realized this community, I don't know if you realize what a great place you have here, but it's really.
I think everyone does.
I'm telling you, I like it, but we really haven't absorbed what's happening with that hospital property. That's gonna be huge for the traffic. And I just worry that, we haven't even seen the impact of that. And then I think, God, all of that property between this side of Bedford Street and, Main Street, like that's really smack dab in the middle of this town. And I don't know, I mean, some agricultural communities have what they call a Grange Hall. It's a big, huge community building. It's where they have meetings like this instead of a police station. And I don't know, I just wanted to point those two things out.
Yeah, it's much appreciated. Are we still accepting at the town hall the comment cards, or could it be comments made online, or, because that was quite a long time ago.
Good question, Rodney. When we were updating the master plan, I think There might be on the
That was
website.
when you
On the
did the
website.
master plan, yeah, I mean,
Comment.
Quite a while
you
ago.
know, with all due respect, I mean, the charge of this committee is implementing the master plan.
Yep.
That's really, we're not, and I don't think the chairman's trying, I think he's trying to avoid the issue here. It's just, that's not what this committee's about. It'd be like going to the health, it'd be like going to the Board of Health and talking about a development proposal that has nothing to do with the Board of Health, you know, it's just
Well,
not.
actually, what I was trying to say is, if you're looking at 2030,
Yeah.
broaden your horizons.
Well, again, the committee for broadening our horizons comes again from the input from the citizens. So to be clear, if you feel compelled, by all means, facilitate that information through a comment card through the town hall, or if it's still on the website, I don't have to go back
I
and look.
think it is.
But I'm not sure if you participated in the
definitely
workshops that we had. We had multiple workshops over the last several years. COVID hit and it kind of put the kibosh on a little bit. But through that collaborative effort with Serped and others, that we had the workshops, we did presentations and solicited feedback from the citizens, which we got a lot of great feedback, and that's the driving force behind the master plan. So it is a living document, which you may have heard me say this 1 or 7 times. It's not static. It's not to gather dust. It is to be living document, and as components of the master plan change, then we will update the master plan accordingly. But again, to be very clear, we're not a policy committee. We don't support nor oppose. It is what the citizens want. And if there is an update, as an example, on Article 11, just as an example, it went to vote. It was voted in the affirmative. Now we have the election on the 28th. So to that point, that's how it affects the master plan. Now, if on the 28th, there's a vote and it passes, and then the Board of Selectmen ratify that and they say, yes, we will exercise our right of first refusal. As far as the master plan goes, it'll simply be updated to that point. Conversely, if it is not passed or it is passed and the Board of Selectmen decline the first right of refusal, then that will be updated in the plan. Does that help? Is that help? Okay. Yeah, I just want to be clear because it's a great question. And again, I was asked like I just mentioned earlier, I was asked and I did address that issue. So I think there's some misunderstanding about the role of the committee. I just want to be crystal clear and have the people understand. And if that opportunity presents itself again with other questions, I'm happy to, as any of the members are. Yes, Rita?
Well, I'd just say all of our workshops with the town residents, we put together a master plan with the help of Serped based on comments
Yep.
from the residents. And so we're trying to implement. But the number one theme from most of the residents was to maintain Lakeville's semi-rural
Correct.
character.
Yeah, that's
But
absolutely.
we didn't come up with that. It's what the
Yep.
residents,
That
when
is
they,
absolutely correct. So, yes. Yes.
Brenda Donahue, Crooked Lane. So if it is ratified, it does pass all of that, would the master plan committee work with the committee that is established to decide what goes there?
I don't
Because
No, we don't work with committees
This
per
committee implements the
se.
master plan, that's all it does.
Right.
Yeah.
So there are components of the master plan, as you're aware, and thank you for citing those during your presentation. That was appreciated. So to that end, there are committees that have input into the master plan. And you can see on the master plan, the responsible party. So they are the ones that would do that. But we, as actively soliciting or collaborating or facilitating, no. We do meet with the different committees, the various committees. We have over how many years now? It's a lot.
yeah.
So there was a period of time that this committee had not met. We didn't have a formal meeting. And as part of the kind of the reboot, if you were, we met with the various committees to say, okay, what is your update from the last time that you updated? And we facilitated dialogue to have them bring us up to speed on what they had done or what they had not done. So as Mr. Resnick said earlier about some of the articles that had passed, that's in the plan. Now we've updated the plan accordingly.
So the goals that are listed at the end of the master plan committee, they're more kind of just an abstract goal that the town, if it accomplishes, you check it off, but you don't actively pursue those goals?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Again, yeah, that's a great question, that's correct.
But there are if you look, there's the column,
Yes.
whose responsibility is this? And then, we're suggesting those things, and then the particular group in town takes over.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
you're very welcome, and thank you for the good questions. It's much appreciated. Okay. Item number 7, schedule our next meeting.
That was on the sheet you gave us.
Yeah.
What?
The next meeting is, right?
Meeting.
No, I didn't put a date in, but if it's the third Tuesday, it would be August 19th.
Okay, August 19th.
I'll be here. I'm off the first 2 weeks of August, so I'll be back then.
Okay. Are we in
You be
agreement
here?
for
Maybe.
August 19th?
My only question is, do you want to push it for anything planning related that might go to fall town
Yeah, it might be
meeting?
September might be better.
Yeah, I think moving it, because the planning board will probably be in discussions over what articles
Yeah.
and wording and language.
Sounds good.
And so if you want to actually review what might be on town meeting, it's September, late
20.
September would probably be.
Yeah. Like maybe a week of the 20th or so.
The
September 20th would be the
September
third
20th or
Tuesday.
27th?
Well,
The
we do
27th
the
will be a
third.
board day, so I won't be able
Rodney,
to.
we do the third because of
Yeah,
Concom
and then
and,
we
Oh,
could
that's
give
right.
updates on
Correct.
other
1, 2,
things.
3rd, so the 3rd is the 20th.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go
we meet
ahead
the
and,
2nd and the 4th,
So what date are we going in September?
20th.
20th, please?
What was one for August?
And do we want to try to book this room?
Yes, I'll do it early.
what was the date for
I don't think.
No date for August, we decided for September.
Rodney, I don't think I can make that September one. I should be in Palm Springs, California, at the BMW
Oh.
convention.
Well, if you need someone to
You want to take it, carry your bags?
carry your luggage, I am happy to.
No, no, I already asked that.
Actually, I'm shipping my luggage.
Oh, jeez.
Shipco.
Okay, so for 6:30 PM,
Yep.
Yep.
Tuesday, September 20th. Okay, excellent, thank you very much.
21st, you mean? 21st is Tuesday.
I'm sorry.
No,
No.
no, it's the
September?
20th.
Oh,
Negative.
I was thinking 2021, I'm sorry. My,
I'm usually the one that has the wrong year, right?
Of course, we all
What
look.
calendar are we using here?
I stand corrected.
It's okay, looks like you're sitting, but that's okay. All right, so, we are in agreement for
Oh,
this.
Mr. Chairman, I apologize, I am gonna be at a conference then.
All
yeah,
right,
that's
so there's 2 that cannot be here.
I'm terribly sorry.
That's okay. So we have 2 down. That's gonna leave.
Oh,
We have a
have we-
quorum if,
We did, I noticed the selectmen did post that we're looking for a 7th master plan committee member. Has anybody submitted letters?
We got, just started posting a few weeks ago, but yeah.
And we don't know if Patrick can,
Yeah, he keeps his job interferes.
yeah, they put him on the window
Yes,
you
yeah.
know,
at the, they must be short-staffed.
September.
well, we're gonna, it's actually up for discussion because we have 2 members that are unable to attend.
I'll be back in town,
Following week?
I'm back the evening of the 21st.
Do we want to, move it to a different date in September if possible, or push to the first week of October?
If it's the first week in October,
I could do the.
Yeah, and you still have time to weigh in on the articles, if you do that.
Yeah,
You'll be
27th
fine.
or October
Yeah.
4th.
Yeah, you'll
Is
be
it
fine.
Yom Kippur,
Okay.
Yom Kippur is on, when is Yom Kippur? It's a good question.
October 4th, the first Tuesday.
You know that more than I do. I don't have that done yet.
she's got a cheater
I
calendar.
don't
It
have my
says right on
calendar
there.
yet.
All right, so, is the 4th out? And if so, do we go then to if the 3rd
18th of
works,
October.
the 18th of October? Should probably not do that with my
October
glasses
4th.
on.
Starts on the 4th, yeah, you're right. Boy, how about that? We didn't have that on there. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, what did you suggest?
October 18th.
All right. So, it's fine by me.
Other members?
Good thing.
Okay, so
October 18th.
October 18th, 6:30 PM.
Awesome.
That'll give me time to meet with the superintendent of streets and police chief and make all of these.
Yep.
Check with Ari too on other changes.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
6:30?
Yes.
6:30.
Yes.
6:30, that is correct. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, any other business?
Oh, I'm sorry, my
I just wanted
apologies.
to
Any other
mention-
business that may properly come before the meeting?
I just, in your packets, the selectman's office has gotten back into the routine of checking on who attends meetings. Cause they reappoint everybody July 31st.
Right, I noticed it's standardizing at the 31st, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
so I, actually, because of COVID, I did 2 years, and I submitted it to the selectmen so that they know who's attending.
Okay, thank you for doing that. It's greatly appreciated.
I have all the minutes right handy, so I figured it would be easier for me to do it.
Correct. Okay. All right, so absent of the,
Motion to adjourn?
is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Mr. Lynch, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you very much. Was that